Hello and welcome to today's weather update. It is 10 o'clock on October the 8th, 2021. The clouds kind of hung tough today. A lot of clouds, some breaks, especially toward the afternoon. We had some breaks, but a lot of clouds around formed over the island today. You can see all these clouds that we're dealing with today. And so, like I said, some sunny breaks, but more clouds than not, unfortunately, that we were dealing with. You could see that. So let's go take a look at and then we had this unusual cloud too that I saw later on today. That really unusual looking cloud. Like, see little pieces of it like dipping down and stuff, almost like a wave cloud. It's kind of interesting, but a lot of clouds. That's pretty much the trend today, and you can see all the clouds over the. Actually, here on this image, you could see looked like there were some sunny breaks on the North Shore. But then as the day went on, you could see more and more clouds develop. There were some breaks here and there, depending on where you were, I guess. There were some breaks. You can see there was a mix of cirrus, some cumulus in there, and altocumulus as well. This is the current satellite image. Right now, we don't have quite as many clouds around. It seems like they kind of like pop up during the day, and then they kind of dissipate at night. You can see a lot of clouds that are over coastal New England that will be moving toward us. So let's go take a look and see what we have going on across the area as far as our temperatures go. Is definitely feeling a little cooler out there. Temperatures in the mid-60s. Dew points are dropping. We have that easterly flow coming in, which is making things a little cooler right now. You can see over in Jersey, still a little more humid there. Dew points in the 60s. Let's see what our high temperatures were today across the area. And so we're up into the upper 70s again, once again, mid and upper 70s across Long Island. 77 at Islip. That's about almost 10 degrees above normal. And look at that, close to 80 in New Jersey. So, of course, always warmer there. Of course, let's take a look and go to the low temperatures today. Just out of curiosity if anyone had any radiational cooling. I highly doubt it, but we will look. Well, yeah, it looks like West Hampton did. 48 degrees there for a low. Otherwise, 55 at Islip. So it did cool off last night in some cooler areas. It was also 48 in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River, too. So, interesting. So it did get cool this morning because there were some clear skies in the morning, and that helped give us some radiational cooling, I guess. Let's go to the National Hurricane Center here. They're watching this disturbance now, 40%. And it could be a subtropical type low that could wind up developing here that we have to keep an eye on. Now, let's go and take a look at the models and see what we've got going on here with this subtropical low that we're going to have to watch out for. So you can see it's going to try to form right in this spot right here. All right. And if we look at the GFS, you will see here that it does indeed form something and then bring it in to the Carolinas. Well, we're going to actually go to the eastern U.S. view here. So you can see it forms a center, brings it into the Carolinas, and then forms another center south of Long Island. But the gist of it is that we'll probably be dry on Saturday for most of the day, but Sunday it looks like we're going to be dealing with some rain. Unfortunately, that is the day that Mineola has its street fair. So, again, the bad luck continues for us. But the weather can't even cooperate for us. And we got to mention that four-letter R word once again in the forecast. It is gone by Wednesday, though, and then we start to dry things out. And then as we get into next week, you see just generally, kind of we have to wait until this bigger high moves in as we get into the GFS has been pretty persistent about this, building this cooler air mass in around October 18th. And then we start getting into the jet stream coming down again and bringing us those fronts. And if we look at the jet stream here, you will see right now there ain't much of one. You can see there ain't much of one at all here, but then as we get toward, you can see that trough, and that trough is we're gonna have some troughs coming to the east, and once that happens, that will finally get rid of this crap, and we can have some better weather once again. So let's take a closer look, and let's go to the HRRR model. And the 0Z HRRR run, so we can take a look and see what the HRRR is doing as far as handling this precipitation. Now, if we were to look at the current radar right now, which I want to pull up, see there's not really a whole lot going on. A few very scattered activity. You see some scattered activity off to the west. All right, so let's move the HRRR along. You'll see tomorrow it could be a spot sprinkle or two, perhaps, but nothing really of consequence until we get towards Sunday. And it's this system here, which the HRRR seems to really develop into something. And you can see it would bring in some of the rain. The HRRR has Sunday being quite a rainy day. Particularly the more south and east you are, the more rain you will get. And you can see this low just comes right up and gives us quite a bit of rain. So Sunday, a rainy day, and I don't know if they're going to postpone the Mineola Street Fair. They really should, because nobody's going to really want to go when you're going to be dealing with all this rain. And if you look at the total accumulated precip, you'll see at least an inch of rain. Sunday is going to be a day that you're just not going to want to go out. It's going to be pretty damn miserable out there. And, you know, I mean, I just don't go out on rainy days. I can't deal with it anymore. So you can see here that we've got that rain that we're going to have to watch out for Sunday with this low here. And you see it's quite, again, quite wrapped up. And I'm just going to look at the wind and see if it's actually got some wind with it too. I mean, nothing. Oh yeah, look at some of the wind offshore it's developing. 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts here. So just like I said, this could bring in some coastal flooding perhaps. It could be a pretty nasty Sunday if the HRRR has its way. Looking at the temperatures, obviously it's going to be cool with that easterly flow. Tomorrow we're only in the mid-60s. And then for Sunday, probably just struggling to get out of the low 60s probably with that easterly flow there. It will be damp too. If we look at the dew points, you'll see humidity generally dew points in the upper 50s, low 60s. But again, look at all that wind that the HRRR is developing. So this is going to be a problem for the coast. Tomorrow, dew points will be a little lower, mid 50s, but the dew points come up a little bit with that rain on Sunday. So again, this is something we're going to have to watch closely here. Now this is the HRRR model, so every model has its own way of dealing with it. All right, so if we look at the GFS, now the GFS is less wrapped up with this low, way less wrapped up with it. All right, and as a result, probably doesn't give us as much rain. Total accumulated rainfall, yeah, it doesn't at all, and it only has the inch plus perhaps over the east. Now the rest of us just see maybe a half an inch. All right, so GFS is much drier with this system. It's much less wrapped up with it. All right. If we look at the dew points, you will see here that the winds are not as strong too. I like the fact that it shows the winds. You can see a center of circulation, however. The GFS kind of like cuts it off just to our south, and it's a high build-in just to our north. So again, with no jet stream to move it all along, it's kind of hard to predict where this thing is going to go, and that is going to be a big problem. Let me go to the NAM 12 as well. We can do the NAM 12 as well and look at the I have to use the 18s. I don't have enough of the new one in, and look at the precipitation on this and see how this handles it as well. So see that high keeps us dry for tomorrow, but then Sunday it's tricky. Now the NAM keeps all of it away, almost all of it away, but again it kind of cuts it off just to our south, so it's kind of stuck there. It's wedged in between this high. With no jet stream, it's got nowhere to go but just sit there. But if you look at the NAM here and the total accumulated precip, barely anything. So all the models are disagreeing, and this is making for a very complicated forecast as far as what's going to happen. Right now, the HRRR is the only model that seems to really soak us. All right, but generally, it seems tomorrow will be okay as far as not seeing much rain, but it is going to be Sunday that we are going to have to watch. But one thing's for sure, we will not be seeing the sun for a while. So let me go to the GFS, and we'll look at our cloud forecast here. So you'll see we'll be pretty socked in tomorrow, Sunday, even Monday. With this system lingering, we're going to be dealing with clouds. Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, we'll see the sun again. Maybe. So it's going to be a pretty gloomy stretch. Again, with no jet stream to move it all on the low is just kind of cut off there. It's not going to be going much of anywhere. It's going to be kind of just hanging around. Let me look at the RGEM. RGEM also shows us Actually, we might start with a little bit of sun tomorrow, but I think we're mostly cloudy most of the day. And then the clouds are pretty thick on Sunday. And then the RGM seems to want to push this thing away enough that we might see some sun later on Monday. By later on Monday. Now, RGM with precipitation. Let's look at that. RGM soaks us. So the RGM soaks us Sunday right through the early part of Monday, and it really doesn't end until like later on Monday. And if we look at the total accumulated precip, RGM gives us like over 2 inches of rain. So it's very hard to predict. But I know that the GFS is the best track record, and it's somewhere in between those. Are we not getting soaked, but getting having a fairly rainy Sunday from the afternoon on through the overnight hours. All right. Let me look at a couple of other models here. Let me go to the Ventu Sky. And this uses the HRRR, so we can actually use this for the wind. And that's what I want to do. I'm going to go to wind gusts, and I want to move this over to Sunday. So this is the system to the south. And you can see we could have some wind gusts offshore, particularly up there. All right. This is using the icon. This isn't using the HRRR. I guess this far out it doesn't use the HRRR. But you can see there's some strong winds that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Right, this is Sunday around 1 o'clock. All right, it's pretty strong winds. And if you look at the precipitation map, you see, again, this is, again, all that heavy precipitation that's just off to our south. And, some models are indicating a very tropical signature. All right, this is the HRRR over here. This is as far as it goes as far as 2 o'clock. All right. Now, if we look at the waves, you can see it's also going to stir up the waves a little bit too. So we may have some high surf. Sunday is going to be a miserable day, whether it rains or not. Whether how much rain, it's going to be miserable, and there's probably going to be some drizzle around too, even if it's not raining. All right. So if you're going to be outside Saturday, it's probably going to be your better day with this damn system. It's that we gonna have lingering around again. This is your wind gusts again. This is fairly strong, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on these wind gusts. You can see up to 50 miles an hour in Tom's River, perhaps the Jersey Shore getting it worse. But still, that's wind gusts. This is wind speeds, but still, could cause maybe some scattered power outages, coastal beach erosion. This, and we have warmer than normal ocean temperatures, so this may be some type of subtropical storm, and it might get a name. And we're going to see if it's very hard to predict exactly what's going to happen with this. Let's go to the windy.com model as well, and look and see how the windy.com model handles this storm, and see if it develops it into anything substantial. I don't see it. This is the European model, and the European model does give us the wind, but it doesn't really develop it into anything really. You don't see a tight. It also is much further to the south too, so you'll notice that too. So the European also much weaker, and with the weaker system, well, I have a feeling once I go look at the precipitation, yep, not a whole lot of rain here. Not a whole lot of rain. This is Sunday for the European, and the European keeps us, just light rain. That's it. Maybe light rain and drizzle. That's the other option for Sunday. Not great, but at least it won't be a soaker. Saturday will be fairly dry. Like I said, maybe just a scattered sprinkle or two, and plenty of clouds around. But it will be cooler. Either way, it's going to be cooler. But yeah, it's not going to be a great weekend. We're going to be dealing with these clouds around. You can see here, this is the European model. All these clouds, and as far as Sunday goes, obviously clouds, and maybe Monday we can get out of it. European is pretty bullish about clearing things out by Monday afternoon. We'll have to see if that actually materializes or not. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. I know not a great weather forecast for the weekend. The 4-letter R word is back. I haven't had enough, but if you haven't had enough of it, we haven't really had haven't had that much precipitation this past week. So I guess we could use a little bit, I guess, but it could be a lot. It all depends on how this system sets up, and there's just so many variables. It's very hard to predict. But again, if we go and we look at Earth Null School, I just urge people to be cautious because we have warmer than normal ocean temperatures. If you look at the sea surface temperature anomaly, you'll see much warmer than normal ocean temperatures across the East Coast here. I'll look at those bright oranges there. that you have. And those are some pretty big anomalies. So that's 5 degrees above normal, 7 degrees above normal. The water temperatures are very warm off the East Coast. Look at this anomaly here, 13.6 degrees above normal. So this is very, very warm water, and this could fuel something possibly tropical. If we look at the actual temperatures here, this spot, look at that, above 80 degrees. That's enough to definitely, if it gets over that spot, it could become something, a tropical storm. I don't think it'll become a hurricane, but, you have to, expect the unexpected and watch this thing. All right, and if we look at the water south of Long Island, still close to 70 degrees, which is above normal for October. It shouldn't be that warm. So we have warm water. We have a jet stream that's decided to disappear, and we may have a storm that may decide to create quite a messy Sunday. At least it has the potential to be a wet, stormy Sunday. So keep that in mind, and thanks for watching, and have a good night.